Hello, YouTube. Ronan Kazi, Destiny 2, doing the campaign on the road to nowhere. Well, I'm sorry about the audio in the game because what I have done recently is I've started playing with some headphones which pick up in my recording on the Xbox stuff. It picks up my music that I'm playing while I play the game. And so to not get shut down with music in the background, I'm going to re-record this with the sound off. I'll fix that in the next one. I don't know what I'm going to do to fix that with the recording stuff, but I'll figure it out. So, playing this campaign mission, it took me 2 days. I didn't understand what to do in some of it. In the first day, I did this first part where you get an orb and then you got to go fill it up and you pick it up and go get it. And what I spend a lot of time doing is just killing things. What I enjoy about Destiny 2 is I'm a grinder. I don't mind killing stuff. And I just spend a lot of time killing things. Sorry for all the ahs. One of the things that I'd like to do is just clear maps and make the objective easy for that. I pushed a guy off the other day. That guy shouldn't have come back. That's some BS. And so I don't mind grinding. And the Destiny 2 will serve you up a grind if you want it. I stayed in this area all day yesterday and just killed things. These dogs keep coming down. Part of the mechanic why they always have dogs coming on you is they need to give you ammo if you have builds where you have to pick up ammo. So part of that is understandable. I've pretty much, since I've been playing this so much, I've been able to level up my gear score, so it's a lot easier. I've kind of two builds now. I have a high mobility build and then a high resilience build. I'm using the high resilience build for this part. I don't know if I can switch them in between. I might be able to, but I will eventually tell you all that stuff. What's happening is the game's unfolding as I play it more. And in the previous recording, which I can't use, I go on to say things like, that's a good thing to do, is to, if you play the game, it usually manifests itself. And maybe not in a new game that has completely new mechanics, but Destiny 2 is not a brand new game. I figured out how to use my bow, so if I don't aim and I just, blind fire, it'll give me that stasis effect. And you'll see every once in a while, my bow will get like 5 in the quiver. 5 arrows in the quiver. You see there, it's going there. That's pretty handy. It's actually, for me, it's OP as I've learned how to use it. So I'm happy with that. And that's like everything. As I've read into, like I told you, I wasn't really sure my mobility was like 98. It gives you close to 30% boost. So I will find out all that stuff. I'll let you know. I know you can look all that up. And so the other thing I went into is looking everything up and learning styles. Recently, I've been telling you about, what build are you? And one of the commenters, Super Slanky Lanky, said his love language was cookies, which I thought was hilarious. But part of this thing we go through life is you're trying to figure out I don't know if animals do this because can't speak with animals, but it seems to me every living thing, maybe not plants, so not every living thing, let's say mammals, probably wonder why they're here. Why are they in this family when they see something different? Right, part of your programming is a pattern recognition. You recognize that's your mother and your father. You don't know that they're your mother and your father. That's the person that weans me. That's the person that gives me milk. That's the person that just looks at me angry or whatever dads do. And so you develop this pattern recognition. There's all these people like me. Now there's something different than me. Is that the same, What does a child think? Or probably doesn't think, but sees a dog or a puppy, which is different than everyone else, and a cat. And so part of this thing I'm asking you or wondering if you would take any of these kind of surveys that help quantify what you are. And again, you can't quantify we're not machines, so you can't quantify, like in this game, I got, 100 mobility. I can't do that in real life. It's analog in real life. And so I would say, and maybe it's not. On a quantum level, it's not. That's literally definition of quantum mechanics, right? It's discrete energy packets. But at our level of existence, things are analog. So what I'm just saying is you can take those things to give you a general idea how you are, what your love language, if you're, let's do super slanky lanky, is his love language is cookies. So it would be if he got in a relationship, it would be incumbent upon him to let that person know somehow that he liked cookies, right? Because then you're going to get the love language that you want. Probably don't want too many cookies because then it probably gets, maybe there's for super slanky lanky, there's probably not too many cookies. I don't know. I'm sure he's going to comment. And if he doesn't, that's okay too. But part of all this gaming is you got to kind of figure out what's your learning style. Do you learn by reading? Do you learn by doing? Do you learn by observing? And that's probably why YouTube as a learning resource in most cases is great, because you learn by someone's explaining and you're seeing, right? So it scratches two of those itches. And then you might do it while you're watching it. So there's three of the learning outcomes. I couldn't figure this out to come to this side. It took me 2 days to do that. I'm not that smart. But it's symmetrical in here. And so that's what I'm figuring about Destiny now. There's, I'm going to have to do the same thing again, symmetrically. But so that's your learning outcomes, and that's important to know. But I would also say you just got to play the game, because the game will reveal itself. It might not, if it's the first time a game's been out and you're playing it, you're not going to understand any of the mechanics. There was a game called Ark. My son had played it. I tried to play it. It just seemed stupid, and I couldn't figure it out. Which gets me into number 2. This next part is for those of us that are 55 and older. I would suggest to you that you, if you want to quote unquote stay young, you should try different things to keep your neuroplasticity there. And so what does it mean to be young? To be young at heart? Really, to be young at heart, you see the world with freshness. When you see something fresh, that means you're seeing it for the first time, maybe again, or you can kind of keep that attitude. And so what I'd say, if you were a Destiny 2 player and you needed a break from Destiny 2, but you want something similar, you might like The Division. It's not the same game. There's differences, but that's what's going to make it good. You can see this higher resilience now allows me to go through there and I don't worry about it. So this is the thing that's good about that. And I haven't used their system to switch things yet, but I'm going to get to that in other videos. So being able to try new things and see things differently really helps you. And speaking of trying to do new things, I go right back to where I started the mission, because I feel comfortable there. So I understand that you want to feel comfortable. You keep playing the game, you keep going to the same bakery, you keep doing the same thing because it's comfortable. But you're not going to be able to try new restaurants, new things, streaming services, online banking, all this other stuff, because it's not how you used to do it. And that's what makes you, quote unquote, seem old. There's nothing wrong with traditions and doing things the right way. It's the things that you pick. There's things that are intrinsic to you, that are the essence. And in most games, my essence of, I'm going to have some type of pet, or I'm going to use some type of skill-based, or why did I pick a warlock over a hunter? A hunter is going to be more weapon DPS. I imagine. Warlock's going to have some of these other skills. Maybe they're more powerful with their skills. Maybe they have like more magic or whatever it is. And I'm not really a tank. of those three paradigms, I normally go Warlock, Titan, Hunter. In the division, I go yellow, blue, red. That's my essence. I've been playing a red build that's been kicking ass. I finally got to where I like it, but it's not a traditional red build anyways. And furthermore, after taking, and I've always played games like that, I'm trying to find the inefficiencies in the game, what the developers didn't want me to do. And then when I took that evaluation thing, guess what it said? And guess what every evaluation I've ever said? Right? I'm that type of person. It didn't say I'm a yellow or a whatever. But if you're over 55, please try different things. It'll keep you younger. You might not want a TikTok, but you should at least understand what it is and why it's so big. Not just through a New York Times article. You should try to do it. And what I'm going to tell you is Destiny 2, once I played it more and more, it was easier and I understand it. And by playing Destiny 2, when I look at the Division 2, I understand that people are new to the game, aren't going to see it the way. So it's obvious to me, don't push forward in Legendary. I'm going to get the green stuff again. So this is this new skill. I can't get it yet. I imagine once I finish the campaign, I'll be able to go to that. And it's different, so I don't like it at first. I don't know what to do with it. But as I just said, as time goes on and I use it more, I'll probably be more comfortable with it. So, like I said, I've appreciate that other people might not see the game like me, so I try to stay with it more. I was in a Legendary yesterday that we went a long time, and I was with a couple builds, and we kept wiping, and the person was doing stuff I'd never seen before. So I have some of that. I'll probably show that to you. And it was fantastic. But I had to get out of my way because I was used to playing those legendaries a certain way. And so we did things different. And when I use my build, when I use the build I'm most comfortable with, we really rocked in that. And so I think there's a lot of benefits to being older. You have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of experience. That's Roxy. Someone's trying to look at her bone. And that's great. That's what makes you great when you're older. Sometimes I say, whatever, life's wasted on the youth because you don't have experience to enjoy everything or whatever the saying is. But that's not true. I enjoyed being young. I enjoy being my age. I enjoy understanding. What I enjoy most is understanding why I look at things the way I do. And trying to see the other person's side of things. Doesn't mean I have to agree with them. I don't. I can be just as petty as the next person about things, but I understand where they've been. I understand where they're coming from. And what's exacerbating sometimes when something's new to you, but it's old hat, you have a tendency when you're old hat to just denigrate. Oh, well, yeah, I've been there, done that. That's not really fair. That person's seen it for the first time, so you just turn them right off by doing that. But if you're the junior person in that situation, you got to understand, when you're telling people all these new discoveries, you have to realize other people may have it. I could make all kinds of arguments about Jammer in a group as an essential build, but people got to play the game how they want to play it. So it doesn't matter even if they finish, right? So if I want to help them finish, then I'm going to pick up the slack. I've told you that a lot of senior people in the Division 2 or a high-level score here, you may have to carry people in these games because they're not playing the way that you think or the way that your guild plays or whatever. But if they enjoy playing with you, they're going to pick up, not for nothing. You play with someone and you like their play style or you like their build or they seemed unstoppable, that's going to do more to persuade someone. And the best compliment is they take part of what you do. They don't copy you rotely. And this gets back to playing the game. If I give you all the answers how to play this game, you're still not going to be able to do it. So here's a good mechanic in this game. I'll get back to that. So now I'm facing the boss. This is what I like about Destiny 2. I like the fact that I can grind. I like the fact that I can start changing my build. It's easy to change my build on the fly. That's fantastic. It's easy to upgrade if you have the materials. It's easy to upgrade your gear score right in the middle of a match. Those things are just fantastic. What's not so fantastic, but I think is fantastic, is that you don't understand the gameplay. And so you don't know what to do. And so they don't babysit you. They eventually will tell you what to do, but they don't make it obvious. I have to go to the place that I normally wasn't at. So at this point, normally in a video, I'd like to thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. Please do all that stuff. It helps me grow the channel, helps me give you more content. If you can't stand some content, I don't know, let me know. If the Destiny 2 is not for you, that's okay. I still try to talk about things that are going to be worthwhile in gaming, period. Cat, get out of here. That's pink now. It's up here while I'm recording. So I'm not sure what to do here at this point. I see this darkness. It's ×2 already. That's probably not good. So I'm going to... Oh, I figure I got to go over there. So I'm going to start heading over there. So yeah, stay flexible, learn everything. You might not learn by doing. You might have to read how to do it. You might be that kind of person. Then you're going to have to do that. But you probably got to do a lot more research then, because one view isn't going to, how do you know that one view that the one video you're looking at is the one that explains everything? And if you're truly a person that needs to be explained to, then it's not. You know, they teach that to you in the military. In the military, I was in the Coast Guard. What happens at boot camp, like they teach you how to put out a fire. So you get on the hose, you're holding this hose. There's like 8 of you. There's a nozzleman, and then there's all the hose guys. And you keep matriculating up till you're the guy on the nozzle, where you get to work the nozzle and spray the fire and do stuff on the fire. And the company commander and the trainers are right there, so it's all safe. But, you know, that's one way to teach people is by doing. I remember people tying knots. Explains it in the book. That book, I haven't seen a book. What? So I get smoked. So now I got to come up with an alternative way. And again, I'm coming from the Division 2 where I don't have a vehicle, so I'm going to try to use my vehicle this time. Spoiler alert. And this is Lightspeed. Spoiler alert. This is the 3rd mission in the campaign. Spoiler alert. So when you're tying knots, I haven't seen a lot of books that help explain how to tie knots. Some of the knots are really easy. Bowling's really easy. Rabbit goes around the tree, comes up through the hole. But other knots, tying a Turk's head or tying like mats or some more decorative knots, are not so easy. And I'm a person in those cases where I got to see it and do it, and I got to do it a bunch of times, and then I got it. And the last thing I'm going to leave you on, again, thank you, is analogies. I'll talk on that the next time or soon. But how do you communicate to someone? I believe that analogies are the best way, because analogies give you instant feedback. If someone gets it, they understand. If they don't understand your analogy, but what analogies do is you put out a statement and then they got to draw it to the current situation. And if it works, you know, the analogies, part of it's cultural and all that. But we'll talk again later. Ronan Kazi, thanks everyone. Sorry for the silence. Enjoy the silence. Talk to you soon. Bye.